Some of you may not know this, but a few years ago, before PlayStation was putting their games onto PC, there were people that were saying never ever would games like Spider-Man, God of War, and every other major first-party Sony IP ever grace the horrible, unclean, kempt areas of PC gamers. Yet here we are in 2025, where practically every single game, I said practically by the way, not every single one, don't get in the comments, you don't have Astrobot yet, you don't have Demon Souls yet. They're coming, don't worry, one way or another, they're going to hit the PC platform. But again, as I said, practically every single PlayStation major first-party IP is on PC. And those exact same people who saw that happen to themselves right in front of their entire eyes were the exact same ones who said things like this: never ever would a PlayStation IP ever hit the Xbox console. Xbox is dead. Xbox is full third party because they're putting their games onto the PS5. There's no reason to buy an Xbox. Why? I'll just buy my PS5 and have every game there. Do you see where this is going? Can you pick up what I'm putting down? Are you reading what I'm writing? Are you catching what I'm throwing? Are you drinking what I'm serving? Are you eating what I'm cooking? Yeah, there's a lot going on today, baby. Because it turns out that hell itself has in fact frozen over. And Helldivers 2, published by PlayStation Studios Publishing LLC, is going to officially land onto Xbox Series S and X consoles August 26th of 2025. Remember when everybody was like, it's just 4 games? Hell, even myself included thought it was just 4 games. And everybody said, oh, Alex, everything's coming. The whole slate's coming. Well, it's just live service, guys. It's only going to be live service. I promise. It won't be anything else, guys. I promise, boys. It'll only be live service games hitting the competitor platform and console. It's not going to be every game. You can go ahead and cope yourselves into whatever you want to do. But you see, here's the funnier part about all of this. It wasn't just a simple port. Apparently, Nixxes themselves stated on Twitter they were in fact helping Arrowhead port their games over to the Xbox Series X and S consoles. And if Nixxes sounds familiar to you, that's because that is the porting company studio that PlayStation bought to put their games onto PC. So it looks like that you could even possibly say if the next Xbox is going to be a Windows device, PlayStation may in fact not even dare to block their games onto that platform of the next Xbox, seeing as how they are literally porting games directly on the Xbox right now. It is crazy to see how fanboys now are going to be crashing out about this. And yes, I have also pulled receipts. And yes, those exact same people who have dedicated their entire lives, known as fanboys, to a company and corporation that does not know they exist are having their entire worlds shattered in mere moments today. Even though some of them, not all, some of them were happily dancing on the grave of Xbox yesterday for firing 9,000 employees. How the turntables. Oh, and don't worry, by the way, we've also gotten receipts from last year of classic PlayStation fanboys acting as if they know what's going on in the market and pretending they're smarter than everybody else. But let's have some fun, shall we? Here we go. Here is ME4 Extreme saying this: absolutely disgusting. PlayStation just threw away a lot of their value in order to have short-term gain. You should be ashamed at PlayStation. I love it. I absolutely love it. This dude is such a clown. He's the exact same one who was talking about having PlayStation no longer put their games onto the PC platform. He was the exact same one saying that the only value a console has is when games are exclusively locked to that platform. He's the exact same person who dedicates his life and entire online persona to a brand, company, and corporation, debasing himself, consistently thinking he's smarter than everybody else, when in reality, he's just the biggest in the room. But it gets better because he made another tweet, and this one ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure if you're ready for the amount of salt that this video is going to present to you, but here we go. M makes another tweet saying this: I'm proud to announce that the hashtag PlayStation 5 will be my last console. I don't care to argue this or turn it into a movement. The move to put hashtag Helldivers 2 on Xbox is absolutely vile. If PlayStation is third party, then PlayStation is dead. Hashtag PlayStation is dead. Oh, I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done. Even though this dude is literally crashing out live on Twitter about more people playing a video game on a different color box. The one that he likes is blue. The one that he doesn't like is green. He decided to go put his face on Twitter and make a 2-minute long video losing his mind about the fact that he no longer has my precious exclusives on his platform. I kid you not. Buckle up, get ready. Here we go.
It's been a while since I've done this. Hey, listen, in light of the recent news that PlayStation is going to take their games to Xbox with the Helldivers 2, right? At least to begin with, I would like to announce proudly that the PlayStation 5, okay, over there, see, oh my goodness, look at that beautiful console. The PlayStation 5 is going to be my last PlayStation console. That's it. From this point on, this will be my last console. I'm not sure if I'm going to get the PlayStation 5 Pro just to kind of give you that last hooray, but even if I do, that's going to be much later down the line. This will be my last console. Listen, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how much business sense this might make. I don't care about the time of this or that, or oh my god, it's been a year. I don't give a what I give a about is exclusivity, because when you create a hardware platform, I need to believe and trust that the games you're going to make yourself are going to take full advantage of the specifications and the capabilities you have built into that box. If you are now a third-party developer, and that's what they are, a third-party publisher now, then you have no obligation, or rather, you have the obligation to make sure that every single project that you greenlight is going to be able to run on all available platforms. That's what's going to happen, right? So listen, I didn't buy a PlayStation to have a third-party box. No, I could have stuck with my PC. I already had a PC. I didn't buy a PlayStation to be stuck to the level of performance or creative capability of an Xbox Series S. If I had wanted the Series S, I would have bought the Series S. But I didn't, because that didn't interest me. But now the games that PlayStation is going to be making are going to have to run on the Xbox Series S. That is a downgrade of epic proportions. And you know what? Forget about the fact that this is live service. What makes you think that single player is sacred? Single player will be put on Xbox too. Listen, it is what it is. This will be my last PlayStation. Thank you, Herman Souls. Thank you, Hiroki Totoki. Thank you all for the brand. Well done. Off.
Homeboy, you talk too much. You never shut up. I said you talk too much. Oh boy, you never shut up, bro. This has got to be the biggest amount of cope that I have ever seen. Yes, I'm a Botchamania fan. And just watch this dude literally crash out talking about, I'm not going to buy another PlayStation because they decided to put their video games on another plastic box, and therefore my entire identity in life has been completely ruined, and I never want to buy another Buddy, listen, let's be real about this. If you were having this kind of thought and conversation, it would have happened when they were putting their games onto the PC platform. Oh, now you want to have a PC? Now you want to be a PC gamer? All of a sudden, like, oh, PC gaming is good now? No, shut your face up, dummy. Go ahead and sit there and buy your PlayStation 6, which is what you're going to do, and hang out with your fanboys console warring on a consistent basis. Just go ahead and admit you've wasted your entire life, your entire identity, and have put yourself nothing more than behind being a console warrior as a literal grown adult in 2025. You're done goofed is what I like to say. And go ahead and just hold that L, because all you've done is talk about how Xbox is dead, how nobody buys an Xbox because their games are everywhere, yet the exact same company you paraded around and decided to go ahead, unhinge your jaw, and let Hiroki Totoki cock punch out your tonsil stones is the best side of all, because here you are, nothing nothing more than a sleeve for them to abuse on a consistent basis. But, ladies and gentlemen, as always, it gets better. Nicola on Twitter said this: Helldivers 2 should do okay on Xbox. It's the quintessential online dude bro shooter that resonates very well with that audience. Arrowhead probably pushed really hard for this to happen, but PlayStation loses another seductive piece for their hardware. Seductive piece? What are you talking about, bro? It's a video game, for Christ's sake. Bro, I guarantee you Nicola's out here in front of his PS5 like this. Would you f me? Doo-doo. 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 I'd f me. Doo-doo. Homie, I bet you're sitting around putting a fleshlight to your PS5 Pro and taking it to Pound Town, I guess, if you ever want to call it that in the first place. But at the same time, we know what's actually happening. You're tucking it between your legs, bending over, and letting the old console hit the old backdoor prostate jam on you every other couple of days. Let's be real about this, my dude. Your entire online persona has been nothing more than being a poster child for getting glazed on by this company and corporation, and you sit there on your hands and knees looking upwards to Hiroki Totoki and Herman Hulst saying, "Please, sir, can I have a fresh load? It's only been a few hours. I can't wait for another one." That is exactly who you are, my boy. The fact that you take these companies and corporations and you talk about like a seductive piece as if hardware and software are even things like that in the first place. These are consumer goods. They're just toys. They're video games, and you're taking them this seriously, and you wonder why you end up with your bald-headed ass in this content. It's amazing to see now, isn't it? Amazing to see. Now, this one is very special to me because Colin Moriarty tweeted this out last year of May in 2024. The Helldivers 2 to Xbox rumor begs a question. What could PlayStation possibly gain by selling in an ecosystem with cratering hardware sales and an audience that buys few games? Why throw a lifeline to a struggling competitor? Why create PR and marketing issues for low revenue? To which, once the news broke, Hazardor Gaming replied to this exact tweet saying this: looks like PlayStation certainly did care about third place small player-based platform that supposedly buys no games. You won't accept once again that you were wrong, but hey, it's all right. You do you, Colin. That's weird. I'm getting a phone call. Hello? Yes, hi. Hazardor Gaming? Yes. I'd like to report a murder. Why do I have a foot? What is happening right now? The fact that Colin Moriarty is one of the most insane PlayStation fanboys. Yes, he is a PlayStation fanboy. His podcast is called Sacred Symbols, that he has the literal symbols of the PlayStation controller on his logo. There's no other way around it. This is the same guy who consistently talks about how great PlayStation is on a consistent basis. And everything he says, all the fanboys will grab and trickle on right down and just copy and say everything he says as if it's actual fact. When in reality, Colin is just throwing darts at a wall trying to figure out what's happening. He's got no more insight than anybody else in the gaming industry because he doesn't work in the industry. He's just a YouTuber like me and a dude like you. There's nothing special about him, yet he consistently goes ahead and says things as a matter of fact, when in reality, he's been wrong multiple times. He was wrong about the Nintendo Switch. He was wrong about the PS Vita. He was wrong about PlayStation putting their games on Xbox. And here we are again with that evidence right in his face across everybody else. And strangely, he's been super quiet yesterday on Twitter, which is kind of wild to see, don't you think? But again, it goes to show that the words never ever should ever cross somebody's mouth, because clearly these companies will do anything they possibly can to in fact gain that money out of you no matter what. And Hazardor Gaming is in fact right. Because what happens is people get too attached to these consoles in plastic boxes, and then the hubris takes over. Them thinking to themselves, oh, Sony sold 77 million consoles, Xbox sold a paltry 33 million. Why would PlayStation ever put their games onto that platform? What a disgrace, a failure of a console brand. Ugh. Catering sales. Why would anybody put their games anywhere? Nobody buys their games on that platform of peasant and garbage. Yet here they are, a year later, putting their games on the platform that you said. What is going to happen now when PlayStation doesn't block their games going day and date onto PC on Xbox hardware, even though that Xbox hardware is just going to be a Windows PC? Basically just cratering your entire logic and compensation of the idea of what PlayStation actually does. It's almost like companies only care about one thing: money. And clearly you PlayStation fanboys don't spend enough of it, because if you did, they wouldn't be putting their games onto competing platforms that have cratering hardware, apparently. Oh God, it's so good. Here's Genki Japan tweeting this. Important to note, PlayStation still view their live service and single-player games differently. Live service needs a lot of players to maintain the game. Day-and-date PC and PS5 now can be Xbox later too. Single-player, tentpole titles that attract people to the PS platform. Strategic release approach. It will be interesting to see how and if this changes going forward. Oh, the cope. I just can't. Oh, guys, it's not going to be the tentpole titles. Oh, it's only going to be the live service, guys. It'll just come later. It's totally fine. Everything's okay. Oh, please don't take these games away from me. You know what this is? This is the same exact trap Xbox fanboys and even other people like myself fell into previously. Just 4 games. It's not a signal. It's just 4 games. And now the same thing is happening to you guys. It's just live service games, guys. It's not a signal. It's just live service games. Clearly, none of you clowns know that there is not enough money being spent in the gaming industry. That's why console prices have increased in price. That's why gaming prices have increased twice in one generation. That's why games are being put onto multiple platforms. And hell, it's even proven that young people are spending less on video games year over year than ever before, because games aren't good, the budgets are far too big, and nothing is actually being developed properly. And at the same time, companies need to make sure that red line always goes up. And right now, you guys aren't spending enough. So clearly, you guys going out and buying your games and supporting the developers clearly hasn't been enough for any of those people in those boardrooms that you guys love to suckle off on and talk about on a consistent basis. Congratulations, you played yourselves. Exclusivity has always been a bad thing for the consumer because it restricts who can buy their games and where. But now that it's falling apart, you guys are losing your entire identity and you don't know what to do, and the lashing out and the copening will continue, and I will be here to document all of it. Here is J-Dub saying this: Sony, we will put our live service games on other platforms. Helldivers 2 going to Xbox. Somebody somewhere screaming out in the rain. Yes, J-Dub, that's you. You're the one coping about this. You're the one screaming about this. Hell, here is direct video evidence of you stating Helldivers 2 is a PlayStation exclusive.
Helldivers is a Sony first-party game. Do we all agree?
Yep.
J-Dub, you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Craig, you agree?
A first party game.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And yes, J-Dub, that is in fact you in the podcast you are on a consistent basis, with PorterRock77, with Craig 9,000 laid off and 3 games canceled Harris. Yes, he is celebrating 9,000 people losing their jobs on Twitter with his new name. It's what a sight to see. And then you as well, and M, who we saw earlier, freaking out about this exact same thing. You are in fact that person screaming into the rain. You are in fact that person angry and upset that you can no longer have a stupid list war about consoles and video games as a grown old man. You are the exact same one who's coping themselves on a consistent basis on Twitter for the last day and a half because a video game that people get to play now get to be played by other people as well on a different console that you didn't even like. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. Wonderful. Cooked to perfection. Love it. In fact, speaking of Porter Rock, here he is directly. Hiroki Totoki is PlayStation's version of Phil Spencer. 4 skull emojis as Helldivers 2 gets announced for Xbox Series X and S. PorterRock77 also tweeted this out as well. I'ma help the ponies out. Do not compare Helldivers 2 with MLB and Marathon. Don't do it. MLB The Show and Marathon are on Xbox because of obligations. They had to go. MLB had to go due to MLB requirements to retain the license, and Marathon and all future new games had to go as part of the acquisition agreement of Bungie remaking multi-plat developers. Helldivers 2 had no such obligation. None. At this point, stand by for a single-player game to go to Xbox. Ooh! Oh! Oh, God, I know that one's gotta hurt, Porter Rock. I know that one's gotta hurt because, look, last year, you tweeted this. If PlayStation is not willing to put their own first-party games on PS4s, what the hell makes you think they're going to put Helldivers 2 on Xbox? Oof! Oh! Oh! Man, that was... Oh! That one came back, but you know what? I got to give Porter Rock credit where credit is due. He's going to be the only guy I'm going to see on the timeline doing the one thing that nobody else is doing. As he likes to say, he's going to take it on the chin. Take it on the chin, my boy. I know you're laughing at that one. Go ahead, take it on the chin. Cooked! But if you want to talk about pure cope and this you, take a look at this one. Tripster tweeted this out. Nice! No different than Death Stranding on Xbox, though. Fanboys out here thinking this is some type of sign that PlayStation is third party. No, they're not. Italian hands emoji. Hey, that's really interesting how, like, all of a sudden, you don't really care about exclusivity, Tripster. I'm sure we're not going to be able to go back in time and find tweets of you talking about how great Helldivers 2 is being an exclusive to PlayStation. Uh-oh. In the business, we call this foreshadowing. Here's you in January saying this. One exclusive? Is this guy mentally ill? Astrobot. Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade released this year alone. Last year, Spider-Man 2, Horizon Call of the Mountain, and GT7. Boy, it's almost like you were trying to use it as a list war and just drag it on everybody else's face saying, we got exclusives and you don't. But I'm sure this isn't the only one, right? Remember that thing called foreshadowing? Here's you again in January saying this. Lego isn't owned by Sony. The Helldivers IP is fully owned by Sony. Try again, bud. The this use. Here you are trying to move the goalpost once again, saying things like, oh, well, Sony doesn't own Arrowhead Studios, therefore it's not legitimate, therefore it's only like a temporary exclusive. But yet not a few months before you were like, oh, hold on, baby, I'm gonna brag about this one. Sony owns the IP. Well, by your own logic, if Sony owns the IP but not the studio, that means it is PlayStation's IP, which means they own those intellectual property rights, which means it's their video game even though they had Arrowhead Studios develop it, which means PlayStation chose to put that game onto the Xbox platform, which means, my boy, PlayStation is officially, by your own words, a full-on third-party publisher. Oh. Ooh. Oh. Man. Ooh, man. Oof. God. Ooh, man, that is... Man, that felt good. That felt real good. Isn't it fun? But you see, ladies and gentlemen, this is why it never pays to be a fanboy. Because as you put yourself behind a company and corporation, you are then beholden to that company and corporation, even though you don't work for them and they don't pay you a dime. Stop defending them. The best thing you can do is stop being a fanboy and go ahead and get yourself a Starforge PC, because they're the best PCs in the universe. Link in the pinned comment down below. Shameless plug. But let's be real about this. The thing is, being a fanboy does you no no benefits, because if your entire identity and persona is tied to a company, they can go ahead and do whatever they want. And all companies ever want to do is pull out every red cent from your back pocket they possibly can as they grab you by your ankles, tip you upside down, shake every coin they can out of your pocket, and then go to you to try and get every red cent out of the back of your molars, because clearly that's all they care about. They don't care about you. They don't care about you as a customer. They just care about putting more pennies into their bank account and taking whatever they can from you and giving you zero ownership over that as well. So maybe stop acting like fanboys and you'll stop being in this content. Or you know what? Don't, because as more things get to erode away from exclusivity and console fanboys begin to realize they have nothing left, the more they will screech, claw, piss, shit, and cum themselves and freak out about the thing that they've loved their entire lives slowly being eroded away from them. And I'll be here to document all of it because I honestly cannot wait. And I'm sure my viewers will enjoy that as well. But you know what? If you like this video, thank you. And if you didn't like it, fuck you. If you want to see more of this kind of content, more PC port reviews, gaming news, Steam Deck videos, fanboy content like this, and live streams every Saturday night, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 86,000 subs, and I just want to say thank you guys so very much. If you want to go ahead and gain Discord access or most during live streams, become a YouTube member. It's as low as $1. If you don't want to spend the buck, don't sweat it. Saturday nights, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, live right here on this channel. Trust me, you want to be there for that live show. You don't want to miss it, as about 800 to 900 people abuse me with AITTS. It's a hell of a show, trust me. With all that being said, though, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great one, and I'll see you gooners next time. Peace!
It's time to stop. It's time to stop. Okay? No more. Where the fuck are your parents? It's time to stop. It's time to stop. Okay? No more. Where the fuck are your parents? You need to stop everything. What are you doing with your life? This is not okay. This needs to stop now. This is cancer. It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? No more. Where the fuck are your parents? It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? No more. Where the fuck are your parents? Just stop. Just stop. Stop. No. Just stop. You're a fucking idiot. It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? No more. Where the fuck are your parents? It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? No more. Where the fuck are your parents? You need to stop everything. What are you doing with your life? This is not okay. This needs to stop now. This is cancer. It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? No more. Where the fuck are your parents? It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? No more. Where the fuck are your parents? Just stop. Just stop.